So we were just talking about the logo change that could happen in the NBA, but we know one thing is definitely happening in the NFL, and that is a team name change for the Washington football team.
I don't know how I feel about it.
Why?
I don't know. Part of me,
I know where you're going with this.
Listen, I get the whole logos being offensive, but I hate when they just this whole cancel culture of where we are with changing logos. Like, that's the logo. Just leave it the way it is. I get that if there's something super offensive, you got to change it. But I love the football team.
Yeah, that's the one thing. That's the only thing I take offense to is I actually love the football team.
Me too.
It's hilarious.
The first one to ever do that.
Right.
And it's like, all right, if you change the logo on them, you can't change the logo again on these fans. It's the football team. That's it.
That's where I was going with it. I mean, the Redskins, you had to change it from that name.
Right.
But the football team, I was like, the Washington football team. But as they grew on for the whole season, I'm like, that does make them just stick out.
Right.
Just out of, regardless of what goes on with them, they're the Washington football team. I'm not too opposed to it.
And I thought it was the biggest troll job ever by the GM and the organization. Like, all right, we'll be the most vanilla name you can ever imagine. We're the Washington football team. Nobody's ever going to be able to come at us again. We've covered our bases. And obviously, you should be smart enough not to get in those situations to begin with.
Yeah.
But I love the troll job of, all right, we're just going to be the football team. Fuck it.
There's Lions fans, there's Barrett's fans, Vikings fans, and then football team fans.
Football team fans. So the Washington football team, they're doing a contest. I think this is a BS contest. Like, they already got the name picked out. Yeah, they already know what they're going to do.
Smart as hell, though.
But last year, when they were trying to decide a name, like, some dude in Washington bought all the domains for all the names that they were thinking of because they released them without purchasing the domains first. So it screwed them on a lot of names that they couldn't use.
So smart.
So now they have fans submitting names. Art, you got some of these, and this one is this is Washington, and they didn't really give them a mascot on this helmet. It's just a cool design for the Washington helmet. Like, I think that's sweet. That's a dope helmet.
That's dope. I actually like the lettering they have now as opposed to that one. It looked like it's doing
Just
a little
the
bit too
W?
much for me.
Yeah, that it's a lot, but I like that look. And then let's go to the next one. This is the one I love. Is this, obviously the Rhinos, baby?
Yeah.
The Rhinos. Dear Washington football team, I would like to recommend that your team becomes the Washington Rhinos. I believe this would be a good name because rhinos are fierce, ferocious, and powerful creatures feared by all. You can even use these as your logo and mascot.
Oh, he signed off the rights on that.
Yeah,
Okay.
he already gave him the rights.
Okay, awesome.
Look at the difference between the bottom rhino and the top one, though. Like, that bottom rhino looks mean as hell.
Yeah, so it looked like almost two different people drew it.
Right. One was the dad. Like, come on,
Yeah.
son. I'll draw you a good rhino. All right, let's go to the next one. The Washington Justice.
I actually did like this one.
It's a dope logo. How they
Yeah.
use the three pillars as the pillars of the building.
I thought that was
Let's make sure Art's mic's on.
That's actually pretty genius.
Yeah, no, they did it, and like the two stripes are like the step walking up to the Capitol building. Like
that's my favorite one actually.
Is it of all of them?
That was one of my favorite ones.
I like this next one is very confusing. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna leave that one alone.
No, go ahead, Corey. What you thinking on that one?
Okay, you already changed the name from the Redskins, and then you go to the Generals and you go, him? I'm like, all right. I mean, you're gonna have to change that name in about another 6 months if you go to because then somebody's gonna talk about George Washington being a slave owner. So
Yeah.
it's like,
You better not put that statue up in front of the arena because that shit's gonna be torn down within 30 days.
I looked at it and I'm like, if they didn't, the name is not bad.
Right.
The logo is.
But that's the thing. Like, no matter what now, if they use a person, like, how do they make this person acceptable to everybody? If it's George Washington, it's like, dude, we don't want that colonizer on here.
Yeah.
All right.
There'll never be a perfect individual enough.
Right. But
besides Jesus, you gotta put Jesus on the logo. That's the only way.
If you make this general black too, then it's gonna be like, why'd you make the general black? What are you guys trying to do? If they make him brown, it's like, what are you doing?
Kind of do something like the New England Patriots logo, where it's like it's a person, but it's not like it's
an icon more so.
Yeah, it's like more like an icon. Like it's the color of the jersey.
Yeah. So the Washington Generals, I do like the name.
I love the name.
May have to reconsider the logo. The next one, I really like this too. I don't know if.
Yeah, I like the DC sales. It was just a lot of names saying.
Yeah, and I honestly I don't know if this infringes on military and is it disrespecting the Navy SEALs and are they using things that they shouldn't use. But I like this look. I think it's a cool look.
Yeah, it's not bad.
The logo on the right's
I'm
nice,
indifferent
man.
on it. The logo is cool, but I'm indifferent on that one.
The name just said it was doing a lot for me. I like the idea of it.
Okay, and then let's get into the next one.
This is my personal favorite.
Is it?
Yeah.
The Washington Wolves.
Hated it.
What? You hate it?
I hate it. I think it's the name for me because I just immediately think Minnesota Timberwolves and I think of losers. It's just hard.
Yeah, it doesn't sound hard. Like Wolves? No, football team sounds hard.
Joseph, have you ever seen a wolf in real life? Thank you.
Thank
you
you.
don't want to.
Have
It's
you
a
seen
wolf.
a football team in real life?
Have you seen a general in real life? I do like that they're using the Wayne State W though on that helmet. That looks like the Wayne
That
State
does
W.
look like the Wayne State W.
It doesn't?
That looks nothing like the Wayne State W.
Really?
It's
got the curves.
Oh, you know what? The Wayne State.
The top.
If at a quick glance it looks like it, but when you look at it more, it doesn't look like it. But at a quick glance, yeah.
But I think they should make a more fierce looking wolf. Like that wolf just kind of looks like a Disney wolf, like the bad guy.
You're insane. That wolf looks terrifying.
No, he doesn't. It looks like he's the bad guy
He
in
looks like
Lion King.
It looks like it does look kind of Detroit Palish.
Oh, there you go. All right. The next one, Art. This is my favorite one, and I think it does a great job of not only honoring people that have served this country, but also shedding light on a group of people that not too many people know about with the Red Tails. And if you don't know about the Red Tails, search them, look them up. Actually, very inspiring story about African Americans being the first pilots and stuff like that. And I love this logo.
I love the name, I love the logo, but I'm not gonna lie. I elected Red Tails when it first came out, then I just started falling in love with the football team.
No, for real.
So it's kind of like I'm in a rock and a hard place.
That's the thing. Like we've had it for a full year now,
Right.
So it's like I want to know how well the merch sales did for that because a lot of it has to do with all right. If they did sell like a shit ton of merch, that's just wrong to do to your fans.
Yeah, you're double dipping. Like, to me, it's the definition of double dipping. You've got Washington Redskins, and then that went away. Then you go to Washington football team, make a little bit of money, and then another new team. Like, it's just, you're making the fans buy multiple sets of merch.
It's like the NBA with LeBron James, all these trades.
The
It's
NBA
money.
the NBA does it every year. I mean, they switch up all these new statement jerseys, city jerseys. I mean, NFL does it with different jerseys too. I just think it's just the nature of the beast.
Listen, I went to a Washington football game 2 years ago in DC, and there are no fans. They're not messing with anybody's pocketbook. There's nobody buying merch for this team. Like, honestly, I was able to get tickets like 7 rows up for $20 because the fans were boycotting the team, not going, and there were more Lions fans in that stadium that was maybe 1/8 of the way filled than
Wow.
anybody. Like, to the point where they shot t-shirt cannons into the stands. I caught a Redskins t-shirt, chucked that bitch back onto the field. It rolled into the end zone, and they had to go clean it up.
No,
And,
you did.
dude, I swear to God, you could call Jonah right now, and if Tracy was still alive, she would tell you this story because it was one of her favorites. Like, and honestly, I've never caught a t-shirt at a Tigers game, a Pistons game, a Lions game, but I go to fucking Washington, and I catch this t-shirt, and I'm like, what do I do with this thing? I just launch it back on the field. It rolls into the end zone. They have to run out there during the play and get it. All the Redskins or all the Washington football team fans in the stands are like yelling at me, calling me an asshole. All the Lions fans in the stands are giving me a high five. Like, it was an amazing experience.
That's so good.
So yeah, if you ever go there, it literally driving in and listening to their sports talk radio, you could just transpose, back then it was the Redskins, you could transpose Redskins with Lions, fans calling in saying the exact same thing. Like every sports commentator saying the exact, we need a quarterback, we don't have this, our ownership sucks. Like, it really made me comforted to know as a Lions fan I could travel to other cities and it sounds the exact same way.
I mean, but Washington ownership really does suck. I mean, at least the Lions have had I don't want to say some good luck, but we've been able to have some type of watchable football before the Matt Patricia era. I can't even remember Washington having any redeeming football outside of that 1 year RG3 got them to the playoffs.
That's their recent history. But if you go back, I mean, Joe Gibbs was a hell of a coach.
Yeah.
They had their run. They beat our ass in '91 when we were trying to make it to the Super Bowl. So.
Yeah.
As much as I hate them, I would still trade histories with them, which sucks.
Just been a bad Dan Snyder era, really.
Oh yeah, Dan Snyder's an idiot, like a pure idiot. But he owns an NFL team, so he's a rich idiot. That's all I got to say about Dan Snyder. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, this is a story that I've actually been following for almost a year. Detroit Lion Quintez Cephas is suing Wisconsin because of the way they handled his case. And if you aren't familiar with the Quintez Cephas case, we'll get you up to date with that coming up next, and we'll discuss this lawsuit right here on the Woodward Sports.